Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in this morning on today's Morning Hype. Today is July 6, 2021. It's about 6:27 a.m. And we're going to go over today's 4 top stocks to watch. For those that are new to the channel here, we go over our stocks that have the most volume coming in, stocks that are looking to pop up today. Just unusual volume that shows a lot of momentum building up, as well as the price movement. So these are things that we try to look for this morning, and we try to give our viewers a little insight as to how these charts are looking, a little deeper analysis on some of these stocks and things that we may be invested in, and just try to give y'all a little bit of more to look at rather than just the number moving up and down, just to see if this is something you are willing to trade, or just to provide a little details around what it is we're looking at. But this morning we have 4 new stocks on the watch list. Well, we do have one that's still showing a lot of volume still. This has been ongoing for the last couple of weeks now, and we're continuing to watch this one just to provide y'all with those those details on this stock. This is not one that we're actually trading, but for those that are willing to jump in something like this, I just wanted to point it out just so y'all are aware. Y'all can add it to y'all's watch list, and if you feel like it's the right stock for y'all to trade, I just wanted to let y'all know that, hey, this is something that we may see some movement on today. As you see, we're still seeing on 4 of these stocks there's a high amount of volume. But let's go ahead and jump into some of these names here so we can give y'all those updates. But going off the top, we're going to go from left to right, top to bottom. We have BSQR. This is one we actually were looking at last week. We didn't stay totally focused on this stock because it did have a quick pop, but it started to die down. This was earlier in the week. Last week we did hit a high of about $8, and we came back down though. We tested around the $4 mark on this moving average here, but this morning we're up again, y'all. Like, check it out. BSQR, we hit a high of 636. As you can see on the daily chart from last week, like, we've already kind of jumped up from where we closed at on Friday. You see that? This is the daily here from last week where we closed. We closed at 398 on Friday. We're already up in pre-market, 556 as we speak, but we've already hit a high of 636 this morning. We have a significant amount of volume coming in. As you can see, we're already close to 4 million shares traded. So this is a good pick, I feel, today. Price is about right. We're testing the VWAP now as we speak, and we may continue to move higher as the volume continues to come in. So for those that are up in the pre-market, this is a key level, y'all. I feel would be a good buy point. We could potentially come down, but when we test the VWAP, this is usually where a lot of traders like to watch, and this is where they buy and sell a lot of times, depending on where that pressure is at. If it's upward pressure or downward pressure, this is more of an indication level right here. But as you can see, we've hit a high. We have high volume. I feel like I would jump in this stock here. I'm still got some funds invested in one of the stocks we were watching last week, Xela. I'm not sure for those that were watching the channel here. We're still waiting on this one, but as you can see, we don't have as much volume coming in, so we'll come back to this one. But this is for those that weren't aware of what I was invested in. I have 1,000 shares in this stock, but if this one continues to build up volume, we're just gonna wait on this one. But I'll provide an update if we see any movement on this here. But this is the reason why I wasn't able to jump on any of these new ones. I don't like pulling out what I already have going on and missing out on something else. So I don't really like chasing the dollar. I like to wait for the dollar to come to me. But for those of y'all that have available funds, these are some ones I would feel like have potential gains ahead of the day. So BSQR, for those, we hit a high last week, $8. I think we're going to test this high again, possibly break through it. $5 key level. Market opens. This will be a good time to get in, depending on where we're moving. But yeah, let's just break down this a little more, looking into the 30-minute. So you can see this morning, man, I don't know what happened here. Did we have an article posted today? I was looking this morning, but I didn't see anything. So now it's just volume, just still you know, volume from last week. Still interest in this stock. That's just what's been going on. We've tested certain levels, we bounced, so we're pretty much just looking like we're using the 7-day moving average here. Tested that level, a lot of resistance here, as you can see. But this is where we're at. We're actually coming down a little. I'm not sure if we'll test this low again or if we're just gonna hold. But this is something to watch. Maybe y'all don't want to jump in yet. Maybe wait for the 5-minute is what I look at a lot of times to form a green candle on the upward. So if we can break through the VWAP again and show 2 green candles moving up, that may show an indication of buying in. But you also need to keep an eye on these long-term charts here. I like to compare it to our hourly and things like that, the 4-hour. So you can see there's still resistance and support, but there's still selling and buying going on here. Another one we're looking at is Bridgeline Digital. This is one we were following last week also. There's been a lot of movement in this stock. I'm not sure exactly what it is they do, but I know it's some kind of a digital platform that let's look into this a little more. I forget. Let's see what happened last week that caused it to move up. Yeah, it's not really much here. I have to look into this a little more. There's so many that we switch throughout the days and weeks here that it's hard to keep up with every single one of these. These are some of the new ones that I've been following. But I'll look into this one a little more and give y'all some detail on this one this afternoon in the closing bell session. But BLIN, Bridgeline Digital, this has hit a high this morning. We closed Friday 897. We were actually testing an all-time high at that time, and we actually moved up a few dollars since then, you know, as you can see. You know, moving into Friday, closing market, we popped up, came back down. But this morning, man, like, man, 350. We had a high of 364. 1364. And we're testing the VWAP too, moving sideways a little, but we're still at almost $12 here from $10. I mean $9. So there's a $3 hop, you know, over the weekend. A lot of volume coming in on this one also, as you can see here. We're at the top of the watch list. We got almost 4 million shares traded, but it's moving pretty quick, you know. And this is one I would keep an eye on here, y'all. This was a little pricier for those that have a little more money to spend. This one may be more for y'all. I like to play with some of these smaller valued stocks. Just I like buying more shares. You know, more upside for me is on how my strategy works. But yeah, this is BLIN Digital, Bridgeline Digital. This is another one here we're adding. We're going to keep an eye on this one. MRIN. MRIN software. I know a lot of y'all are familiar with this one. We've been watching this one here for a while now, and it just continues to rally, y'all. Like, God, what is going on with this stock? This is the daily from last week on Friday. We closed at 2029. We hit a high of 25.60 and came back down, you know, $4 or $5 there. But man, this morning we just took off like a jet again, man. Look at this. It's flying, zooming by. So, you know, we went from pre-market, I mean, closing bell, $20, and the pre-market almost at $27 again in one day. I mean, this isn't even a day. This is not even pre-market, y'all. This is before pre-market. So the volume has died down. Yeah, we don't have as much volume. But MRIN, God, man, this is one we jumped in early. You know, 2 weeks ago, you can watch those videos and see when we bought in. But if we were still holding, man, we would be up a good little amount here. But you never know when these stocks are gonna rally up. You know, sometimes you think it dies down some. I take my gains. I don't like to lose out. I'm taking a gamble on Xela for those that are noticing what I'm doing here. Yeah. We were up on that one. let it come back down, and now it's kind of just sitting there. Volume kind of died down. These are things that happen though if you don't take profits when you're capable of doing so. If you wait for it to jump back up, it could be at some time before it does. It could be the next day. We never know. And those are the chances we get when we make those decisions on when and where to pull, when and where to buy, when and where to sell, however you want to, whatever you want to call it there. But I still made some good money. I'm not going to say, I took a loss or anything. I just don't like being greedy. So I took out where I felt was an all-time high for the day. Made some good earnings on that one. But this is still one in the news, y'all. I'm sure this is in the forums. Everybody's still watching. Everybody's still talking about this one. Let's look into the 30-minute here just to see. As you can see, we're up trending on the 30-minute. Volume starting to build. Testing levels here. Whoa, hold on. Sorry, y'all. Look at this again. I was like, hold on, that was a $17. Yeah, that wasn't the high. So we're at $26 this morning. We're moving sideways. See, we did test on the moving average, but there's still some downward pressure. So I'd wait for this one for the market to open. Normally we see the market open. It can go either way. It can be a lot of down pressure. You can jump up. I've been noticing on the day once the market opens though, I think there's actually some pops that happen on this stock. But there's not really much you can see here. Let's look back. See, these are the opening bells on each day in the black area here. But as you can see, we open market and boom, it jumps. And, see the open market here, it actually took a down, a downside here. Then open market jumped up, came back down a little. Open market jumped up, came back down a little. So if y'all want to test that again, man, like you can see our opening bell here, we've jumped up like 4 out of 5 times once the bell hits that 8:30 hour or the clock anyways. So hey y'all, you want to take a chance here. If it pops up, maybe y'all can buy a few shares, let it hit these highs. Once it tests those highs, just pull out because it may come back down. But then again, it could start jumping up again with all the volume, all the people jumping in these stocks, these retail investors. But MRIN software, y'all, this one's still on the watch list. So go ahead and keep an eye on this one for those wanting to trade. This one's gonna see a lot of price action, up and down, but overall we're moving up. As far as how high we can go, sky's the limit, y'all. Sky's the limit. Another one for the last stock of the day, number 4 here, y'all. OCGN. Who knows about OCGN? A few months back we were at like a $2 mark with this stock here, and one day I just noticed volume towards the closing market. Volume starts building. I'll jump in. Before you know it, overnight this one takes off. Hits about $10 or so back in the day. I believe it was here sometime. I actually hit this high, but I got in here back in the day, made a little money, sold out, but I believe there was some bad news dropped on this a few months back, and it caused it to just lose a lot of its gains. People start hating on these stocks and nobody wants to buy them anymore, but as soon as news drops, everybody's in them again. But this one's been kind of floating, below the 50-day for a while. We closed on Friday about 7:29. But hey, y'all, this morning we're up to a high of 913. We hit about 3 a.m. We've come back down to 836, but we're seeing high volume also in this stock, which it's not unusual, but for the last few days we don't really see this much volume in the morning hours. So I'm not sure if we should be buying in yet, but I'm gonna watch this one. I'm gonna kind of wait for certain key levels here. I'm thinking more of this 50-day moving average, because as you can see, we've tested it a few times, but we don't always break through it. You see that? Like we tested it here, the next day we broke through it. we're trying to gain higher, but then we come back down, testing that 50-day, fall below, try to test through it again, still like not able to really break it. We're kind of just hovering above it. Before we drop back down through it again, hitting it, testing it, nothing, testing it, nothing, testing it, nothing. So there's a lot of resistance here on the 50-day, and this is on the daily. So I would maybe wait for this to test this high. If we test this high of $9, this I would feel would be a good buy point. Although the VWAP is something we do follow a lot, with a lot of the downside showing on the daily though, and the resistance level here, I would wait. We got volume, let's keep this on the watch list, but let's let it test this high of 913. And if we can break through this high, if we're above the moving average, let's look into the 30-minute. So yeah, that's kind of what I would wait on. See, it's actually testing this level here. As you can even see, look at this jump. See, something pushed that up. That was a catalyst this morning with some COVID news. I believe that was posted. That was elite. Let's see here. OCGN preps U.S. filings for COVID-19 vaccine as new data shows overall efficacy of around 79%. So that's some good news, Another partnership, on certain studies. These are good articles that can drive volume, draw in some interest. As high as we can see this stock, I don't know. I believe they're selling this one short also. I don't have the percentage available at the moment, but I'll provide you this if this is something, looking to make some gains. For right now, it's on the watch list, but I'm not sure if we're gonna advise any trading in this one yet. So just keep an eye on this. Let's wait for it to test these levels. If we continue to move beyond these levels, that's where I would call a buy. But again, on the daily, we need to break above the moving average, y'all. And that's pretty much where it's testing. As you can see, about 910. So we tested that this morning and it was showing some resistance already. So let's keep an eye on that, y'all, moving into the opening hours here. We'll see what happens with this one later this afternoon on our closing bell session. We have some other ones moving on the watch list here. Still a little early. It's 6:45 a.m. But right now, these are the four at the top. We'll keep you posted though if we continue to see some of these others climb, some of these ones that are usually in the mix here. But Wish, we're seeing some high volume. Price action, it's still a little stagnant as to where it's been, hovering around. And Xela, let me just pull up this one because this is one that I am invested in for those that have been watching. If you were able to jump in this stock, I know we haven't seen a big jump here in the last few days. We've kind of been moving downwards, but we're still holding levels, y'all. I know we came a little bit below the $2 mark, but as you can see on the 4-hour chart, we hit that high. We've come back down on that descending triangle, but look, we're starting to still show an incline here off of the moving average. And as you can see, the 50 days starting to cross the 200 again. So it's breaking through it. We're showing green on the upward trend. We're still seeing some resistance here on the 21-day. I think this is the 7-day. I'm sorry, y'all. The 7-day moving average. This is the 21 purple. But on the 7-day, there's still resistance. But today we're in the green. Volumes, it's low, but it's gaining little by little. We're gonna maybe break through 1 million shares this morning before the market actually opens. But we have 4 others that are gonna be above Xela, even though that I am invested. I'm gonna keep this one still on the back burner. I'm gonna provide a little update if we do see any price movement on this one, but we're gonna focus on some of these other ones. I feel I can provide y'all with higher gains today because we are seeing more volume come in as well as that momentum build up. And these are just stocks I know over the last week have been showing a lot of volatility. So I feel like with the build up this morning, we may see these ones pop. We're already showing gains in the morning hours. That's a good sign usually for us to test those levels again and possibly break through them. Xela's not really moving much, but on the 4 hour, we're still gonna watch it. We're still showing signs that it's not over. So for those of y'all that are going for the ride, let's just hold on, y'all. Let's just give it some more time. Let's see where we head throughout the week. Again, I'm going to provide those updates on where my positions are, if I'm going to be buying or selling. Right now we're holding. We're not buying, we're not selling, but we're holding. If we can test the $2 mark, move up closer to 217, 220, I would call another buy for those that aren't invested yet. But we need to break through certain levels before y'all want to jump back into this stock, y'all, because we've been moving sideways. We need a breakthrough here. A lot of resistance, as you can see, but if we can break through here, we may show some gains also. I feel like this stock has a lot of ways to go. There was some good news published last week on it. They have some new tools added to their software platforms, but an article can't push this down. Hopefully that bad news article isn't gonna scare people off too much. Maybe they'll see the potential in this stock and jump back on board. But we're gonna keep this on the watch list and just keep y'all updated to see, you know, how this plays out here. But Xela, we're gonna keep you up here, but you're not our main focus today, as well as some of these other names. But for right now, this is what we have this morning, as much as we can dig in and what we can come up with. We'll have to wait to see how the day plays out to know exactly where we might go or what's to come from here. But for those of y'all that are tuned in, I appreciate y'all taking the time this morning and catching up with Mr.Stacks on this morning's morning hype. And yeah, we'll be seeing y'all again this afternoon. So please look for that new video posting around 2 p.m. That'll give you the market update as to how this Tuesday stock trading was going today, as far as any good upsides or any of those downsides that we see of those that weren't able to pop. Again, you know, be smart on where you're buying in and where you're selling. Be mindful on what you're investing. Those of y'all that feel like I can do more for y'all, please leave some comments below. Anything I can do to help the channel, I'm willing to. If this is helpful for y'all, then hit the subscribe button, smash that thumbs up. I'd love to keep these videos coming. Anything I can do to improve the channel, I'd be happy to hear from y'all. And let's just keep this money coming in.